Howdy folks, in a previous video I unboxed these Tigerism Rabbits, one 10.2 millimeter dynamic driver. Popped them in my ears and was a bit disappointed, and I can tell you why. Let's just go ahead and look at the graph. So there's our graph, and basically what's going on here is this is an undampened dynamic driver. That's where all the little peaks are up here. You know, that's very obvious. And I went ahead and pulled the grills off of these. Let's see. There's our little driver right there. Center of it anyways. And I took the grills off and there's absolutely no dampers. So let me just flip back over here. The reason I went ahead and am doing what I'm doing is because let's check the ear gain on this. So we have from here to here, first ear gain peak, 13.31 decibels. And the second peak, which is at about 4,500 hertz, 12 decibels. Let's check the bass. 10 decibels. I don't know what else I need to say, but this is a pretty horrific looking graph. 12 decibels at about maybe like 2.1K for ear gain. That's incredibly forward mids. And in practice, you can't really hear the bass at all because the mids just obscure everything, while the upper mids and the high mids here, it's just, this is a bad effort, basically. So let's go ahead and do what I do. And this is pretty interesting. These came apart like they wanted to be taken apart. And there we go. I just stuck basically a X-Acto knife into the seam on these guys, and also before that I stuck in some isopropyl alcohol, 99%. And here we see a Dark Magician XSL X1 driver, also now Tigerism Rabbit. We see the back pinhole vent here. We see probably what is the stock damper on this. So the Dark Magician had double dampers, and I don't actually know the values of them, and I'm going to pull this off because I don't like the way these are tuned. Let's see, make sure I'm there we go. Alright, so let's just go ahead and start some modding adventures here. Take off that back damper. Trying to be a little careful so I could reuse it if I really theoretically wanted, and I usually just stick it somewhere that I can get to easily. So there we go. These also have a pinhole front vent right here, and if we look inside, you can see a little damper in there. That likely will have to be adjusted or something. And so I'm not sure what I'm going to choose for this. According to my other tuning adventures with this driver, I'm thinking maybe about, I'm not sure, I'm thinking. Oh, could probably try about a 400. So let's try we'll just try a 400 3.0 millimeter value. So that's these. Right, so let me go ahead and pull one out. Make sure we got all of the sticky stuck down. A little bit hard to do this on camera, but hey. Okay, so we have very likely increased the airflow to the back of the driver. I can tell you right off that this isn't going to be able to be tuned like the original Dark Magician, very likely, because of the way the shell, this back chamber is arranged. So this has a much larger air volume behind it, and I don't think that I can actually seal this very easily, just based on what I'm seeing here. The Dark Magician original has like a channel, and it's got more solid stuff inside of it. It's got a channel for the 2-pin and the wires, and they're all glued solid, so then you only have a little bit of airspace behind the driver, and it's completely sealed, air sealed, with the vent, which in the original one is up in this area, but is here. So very likely, if I seal this up, it's going to not produce the exact same type of low in graph. But hopefully we can do something better than 12 or 13 decibels at 2.1K. Jeez. So we're going to need to put a damper on the front nozzle. I'm thinking let's go for a 500 value, 5 millimeter. Why not? So let me get those out. All right. Let's see, I've got a couple of these that I've been reusing, so just to try it, let's get one of those. All right, so we got 500, 5.0 millimeters. And let me stick this down. Let me see, did I get, which side is it? Yeah, this side. Yeah. Hold on. Yeah. Dang it. Didn't really get it centered on there very well. Have to try again. And this is a used damper, but I just use this for checking things, so no big deal. It'll give us an idea. Come on, get off of here. There. Let's see. How are we looking? That looks better. Okay, so let me just tap it down. Tap, tap, tap. All right, cool. So we got a damper, and we have a, what is this, 400 value on the back, 3.0 millimeter. Could also change this to a 2.5 millimeter, which will restrict airflow more. Let me go ahead and so this is the right one. Let me get a right cable here. And I'm going to use my Soft Ears crystal tips. Why not? Because I've been using them for a while, and I do like them on this a lot. And clearly, if you were to shove this downwards like so, oh geez, we just covered the front vent, which is going to have no venting, and that's not going to work very well. So this type of IEM really does need tips that lock on, to the little locking channel on the front, but this will stay okay for now. Let me toss it in the coupler, and we'll do a measurement. Got to go to the right channel. Shit. And it fell out of the coupler. Hold on. There, I got it in time, I think. Ooh boy, so that's quite a lot more mid-bass and bass, and we can see that we're approaching something of a, I don't know if you want to call it reasonable, but we have flattened the ear gain area out, and yeah. So probably a 400 value is not enough for this, so we need a little ear gain for sure. All right, so let's go back, and this is, you know, the way this goes for tuning. So let me pull this off. So that's the 400 3.0. I'm thinking let's go up to a 450 2.5, and then we'll see where that lands. We're getting into the range where we're going to get something better. So I'm going to put this damper back on my damper sheet for later use. Why not? As long as you're careful, you can reuse these up to a point. Alright, so 400 is out. Put those back. I'm going to go for a 450 2.5. Okay. I'll just say this, it's important to put these back in their little packages, because if you mix these up, you're going to have a rough day figuring it out. Let's see, we'll use probably just one I've used before, why not? Let's see what we can get. Alright, I think that's stuck. Alright, toss it on the coupler, get a measurement. Stay. It's gonna fall out. Hold on. There. Alright, flip back. Damn it. It's always falling out on me. Alright, I'm just gonna shove it in there. And do a measurement. What will we get? We should get some type of ear gain going on here. A little bit less mid-bass probably. Yeah, so, you know, this is what I run into all the time. These are from different batches of dampers being ordered, and so this, even though it's a 450, 2.5, it rates probably less than the 400 3.0, and this is what you'll run into. Hold on, let me flip back. Dang it. Alright, let's put that back. Probably just going to pop up to a 500 3.0, sort of stay with the same size. It is possible I actually put the wrong pack in there, but I don't think so. I'm being pretty careful. Alright, so 500 3.0, let's try that. So that's these. Sorry this is taking a while, but you know, this is exactly how tuning goes. It takes a while. Never mind if you complicate things like I do constantly and introduce other variables into the tuning arrangement. Alright, so that's something, hopefully. Over there, stick that in the coupler, flip back, do a measurement. That looks like that could be a higher value. There we go. Now we're getting some goods. Something better. Alright, what did we achieve here? Let's get rid of some other graphs. Okay. So, we see that we're still a little bit forward on the ear gain, but at least we're at like 2 point, I don't know, 2, almost 2.3. I mean, arguably right about there. So like 2.2. And then if we see the amount, we have about 6 decibels. So that's some reasonableness. Because of the 8K peak, I didn't quite hit it there, so it's a little bit deep in the coupler. I'll just pull it out a hair. Probably will fall out, but we'll try another measurement. Why not? And just so you can see how that changes things. Hold on. It's falling out. So this is like a more shallow fit into the coupler, which typically will hit the 8K peak better. But it'll show a little bit of the treble region a little easier to see. There we go. Pretty much almost nailed it. So you can see there that it doesn't have quite the scoop here. And also, I mean, I think probably, well, it just fell out. Likely the actual frequency is somewhere in the middle of these peaks, probably likely. But in any case. So, all right, now we have achieved something more reasonable in terms of the ear gain. It's 6 decibels. It is slightly forward, but that should work reasonably well. So the next thing to try on this is going to be the back shell. And like I'm looking at this, I really don't think they put a lot of glue or almost any glue. It looks to me like, yeah, you can see the glue dabs. A few glue dabs, but it's certainly not going to be sealed 100%. But we'll see what we get. Stick this all together again. So there's going to probably be some pinhole air leaks in this, which means that this isn't going to do much of anything. But let's give it a shot. So typically, I could, to test to see if the sealing the shell would help, I might just tape over this seam. I could also use some glue that I can pull back off of. But let's just see what this does right now. If I had to guess, I'd say it's going to pull the ear gain forward slightly, maybe, and that's about it. But let's try. Oops. And I shoved it in the coupler a little bit hard, so the 8K peak ain't going to be correct. But let us see. Oh, nice. And some spam on Telegram or WhatsApp or whatever. Yeah. So that pulled the ear gain forward-ish. You can see that pretty well there. Interesting change. Not sure. So what we really did in effect here is we dipped out the frequencies from about 400 to almost 800 hertz. So that's going to be, we'll say, 2 decibels-ish, which should be hearable. So in this form, this is probably about as much as I'm going to do at the moment. Should sound somewhat better, so a little bit forward in the mids, but not too bad probably. And I would imagine it's going to be a lot better overall. Now, I haven't opened the second one, so I'd have to do that and do all this stuff to the second IEM to hear it. But I just wanted to go over a little bit of tuning stuff. It's a good IEM to try that on. Because it was tuned rather not well. So, but we can definitely see, it's going to take me a second to pull this apart, but hang on, let's see. I guess you can see how this works here. So I'm going to stick that right in that seam, push down, right. And again, this is actually really easy to do on these. I would absolutely not recommend that people do this unless they have a reason to. But there's our Dark Magician driver. And let's see if that matches something else I've got. Where's some drivers? Well, I'm not going to worry about it. It's the Dark Magician driver. It's the same one. It's possibly they have revisions on these, which I don't know what the revision might be. It could be, possibly be a smaller shell chamber, this back Helmholtz resonator chamber. It could be that, or it also could be that they changed the diaphragm material on the driver itself. I'm not 100% sure. It seems like there might be some difference, but I've been trying to tune around that for a long time. As everyone knows, I'm building IEMs based on this driver, or maybe if you don't know, but I am. When these drivers hit, they are the absolute goats of dynamic drivers. They really are, which is why I've been spending so much time on it, which is why I'm doing this video. Anyway, the crash course in tuning stuff. And oh, by the way, the price on these apparently is I think $250, including the 2 cables. So I don't know if I thought maybe it was higher before, but it's not. It's pretty low, or lowish, or I don't know if that's low. But the stock tuning is not going to be my deal. It's just highly unrefined, way too much ear gain. And I did give all this feedback to Tigerism, so hopefully they can do better before trying to sell a lot of these, but I don't know. We'll see. Right on, and I will talk to you on the next one.